Hello, and welcome to XCOM Long War II. Come and join me on what promises to be a very long and harrowing journey full of excitement and heartbreak. I'm your host Nitesco, so let's get started. As the title implies, we'll be playing on Ironman Impossible difficulty, where the aliens are horrifyingly dangerous and all our actions are final. We also have strict screening because XCOM has installed a healthy distrust of all RNGs in me. With coffee in hand, it's time to get going. We'll be setting up our base of operations at Area 51 in the Grand Ole US of A in order to make use of their alien autopsy and interrogation expertise. It's not long before we receive our first reports of alien activity, and so we send our strike team off to the Mexico City Plaza for the very ominously named Operation Morbid Dawn. Now this map can be fairly routine if you start at either end, allowing plenty of cover to sweep across and flank. However, if you start at the side, you're left with little cover and both flanks exposed. Oh god damn it. Just my luck, I'm in the worst possible starting position on this map. After letting the futility of our situation sink in, it's time to meet the team. Our strike team consists of Privates Brown, Collins, Lee, Vasseur, and Alieva. They have an assortment of 6 AP, 2 flashbang, an HE, a medpack, and a partridge in a pear tree. Our position is vulnerable, so we push forward to cover and immediately sight some eld. Enticed by its allure, I send Brown to get a head start in retrieving it. It turns out to be a trap, however, as we catch 4 sectoids gathered around it. Wary of setting off any other pods, with little other choice, everyone dashes for the nearest cover they can. For those who can only find partial, they hunker down, and those who can go into Overwatch. Thankfully, the first sectoid misses his shot. However, the second goes into Overwatch, which will make maneuvering into a better position very difficult next turn. The third sectoid emulates the first, but things aren't over yet. Hey guys, I think I heard something over here. Oh shit! It's exactly the situation we were worried about in the beginning. We've got sectoids crawling up both our flanks, and protection from either side means vulnerability on the other. I move Vasseur into position, but unfortunately she's unable to get a grenade into range to thin their numbers. Alieva could throw an HE, however without Sapper to blow up the vehicles, it's unlikely to be very effective. Our chances of hitting aren't great, but we still take 2 concentrated potshots in the hopes of at least hitting 1. It doesn't give us a dead sectoid, but at the very least the little bugger is injured. There are still 3 other little problems crawling up our other flank, however, and so I move several troops into cover, ensuring that both flanks are guarded, keeping the sectoids away from each other's backs. This puts Peters on one sectoid's flank, however with no moves left, we try to catch him on Overwatch. The sectoids outnumber me, outgun me, and are in a far superior position than me. On the left, they unleash 3 mind frays onto Vasseur, but she proves herself to be a mental beast as she resists each and every one of them. Things don't go so well on the right, however, as Collins takes a nasty hit. To make matters worse, the flanked sectoid doesn't trigger the Overwatch as he moves into cover. Our only solace is that his attempt to cause panic doesn't work. As we move into our next turn, we hear the sound of another meld canister. However, all of our effort is focused on merely staying alive. We move Alieva and Vasseur into position for the 1-2 grenade combo because the best way out of a delicate and fragile situation is the liberal application of explosives. The first grenade hits its mark, and we're left with the opportunity to kill all but one using the fact that the car cover won't protect the already hurting sectoid from an HE grenade. The explosion leaves one of our friends exposed, allowing Brown a clean shot. Over on the right, we get eyes on the third sectoid and execute him with our pistol. Collins lets off a grenade to kill the other. Unfortunately though, grenades don't give us reliable damage in Long War, so he's left standing. With everything around him exploding and XCOM troops advancing, the last remaining sectoid on the left retreats further back. It's at this time that another pot of sectoids come waltzing in, but don't seem to notice their panicking friend. Hey guys, check out this meld. Over on the right, the injured sectoid is out for blood and takes his revenge on Collins. We have a rookie down, but there's no time to mourn or panic, and his death steals our remaining troops' resolve. Eager to avenge his fallen comrade, Peters moves in for a flank, but the sectoid on Overwatch sees his head over the hood of the truck. Oh, that was close. After checking to see if his head is still there, he takes the shot and avenges his friend. Confident the pod won't activate, Brown moves up. However, the pod doesn't care about my confidence and activates anyways. Vasseur and Alieva advance into full cover, putting them in range to throw a grenade behind the statue. Unable to do anything else, I move Brown up as well and put Vasur into Overwatch. The aliens are slowly losing their positional advantage, and despite merging minds, they're unable to land a shot. And the last sectoid goes into Overwatch. I have Alieva move in to closer full cover, only to realize she doesn't have any line of sight. So I move Brown up to the opposite side of the statue and send a grenade down the steps. Everyone else goes on Overwatch to pin the remaining sectoids in place. The sectoids use up their last chance to retreat with a couple of missed shots. Brown moves up to flank and ends one more sectoid life. Alieva then moves up to flank the sectoid hiding behind the truck and ends his as well. With the remaining sectoid no longer on Overwatch, we can finally chase him down. We dash for the flank and set up an Overwatch to take him out. Unfortunately, the chance to hit wasn't as high as I'd hoped, and the last sectoid on the map retreats. However, he's no longer in any position to defend himself, and it's only a matter of time till he's cornered. We spot him hiding behind a truck, and so we get our flashbang ready. With the sectoid disoriented, we move into position to take him out next turn. The little guy hunkers down, and it's all over for him. After verifying that I can take him out with a grenade, I move Brown in to take a shot. She misses, but Vasur fires true. And like that, so ends the appropriately named Operation Morbid Dawn. Thanks to our troops' hard work, Mexico City is safe and will be able to bring home Collins' body. It was a difficult mission, but our troops will be stronger for it. We come out of our first mission with 4 promotions, and while we didn't come out with any meld, we at least have enough corpses and fragments to start our research. Speaking of which, it's time to visit the laboratory. Now, the first step of our long-term research plan is xenobiology. Not only will it let us exchange corpses for scientists, greatly improving our early game research speeds, it will also let us get to work on alien containment as soon as possible, which we'll want for captures. While we could go for a rush to beam weapons, because we chose the autopsy and interrogation time reduction as our starting bonus, it'll be both more efficient in the long run and get us to beam weapons only a little later than we would otherwise, on top of which, being able to trade captives early on is completely invaluable.
Ah, Commander. I was wondering when you'd be stopping by. Welcome to engineering.
We immediately check our steam vents to find that we only have one that's optimally placed. It'll be fairly easy to get to, so I immediately start a lift and begin excavation. We won't be building a satellite in the first month, but the first bonus we'll be going for is North America. The air game in Long War is much more expensive and much more important, so that 25% decrease in cost will be very valuable to us. Plus, we only need 2 satellites to get it. Stopping by the hangar, we give each of our pilots a name and outfit 2 aircraft with the armor-piercing Stingray missiles. This will allow us to shoot down both fighter and surveillance UFOs. With everything else out of the way, we head to the barracks to handle promotions. First up is Fiona Brown, who has earned herself the support class. Now, while medics are very important, and something I'll be taking with me pretty much always later on, I find the engineer to be far more important early on. As an engineer, she'll be given increased grenade capacity and eventually be able to reliably destroy most cover. Next up is Elmira Alieva, who has earned the tactical promotion. I always pick infantry as my first tactical promotion, as I want to get them promoted to corporal as quick as possible so they can be promoted to an officer position. Then we have David Peters, who has the honor of becoming my first sniper, giving me access to that juicy squad site. Last but not least is Amelia Vasur, who after her stellar performance will be given the biggest gun we can find. While Rocketeers are nice, engineers are able to more reliably destroy the cover you want early game. And since we already have one of them, suppression will be more valuable than 1 or 2 rockets. And on that note, we begin scanning for the next alien activity. It's not long before we get a contact, however it appears to be something very large. It would be suicidal to engage it this early on, and I have a feeling that it's just an abductor. My suspicions are quickly confirmed as we receive our next mission. The aliens are hitting Boston, probably trying to abduct some chowder on their way home from work. Thankfully, we'll be there to stop them. Unfortunately, it's a heavy mission, and all our veterans are currently resting. It turns out we have time to rest 2 of them, which we most certainly do. We equip our squad with an ungodly amount of explosives, and several flashbangs and smoke grenades for support. We'll be relying on our sniper, Specialist Peters, for long-range support and pinpoint accuracy.
We have visual on the mission site, setting down. Get ready to deploy. Our AO is within the continental United States.
Alright, join me next time as the aliens hit the Boston market in Operation Cursed Star. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.